I thought it had no chance of going to series because I just didn't. I just didn't think that this would transfer onto celluloid very well, as a lot of things that you read don't. So they sent me the script. My agent sent me the script, and I read it, and I said, "Yeah, I really like this role, this Vincent character." And they said, "No, Jay, look on page 63. There's a character there. He has 5 lines. His name is Joe. Yeah, that's the role." And I said, "Oh, okay." So what happened was then the production office called then my agent and said, if Jay does this, we would make him a series regular if the show goes to series. And I said, "Oh yeah." So that was the reason I took it.
You know, when Joe Anderson came on the show, they asked Jay to change his name from Joe to Jay, and they asked if it had gone on for another 2 seasons, everyone on the show would have been called Joe. That
Joe,
was
yeah.
Yes.
Can you tell me, Ron, if you were ever, or who else might have been considered for the role of Vincent? And second question, of the movies you've made, which do you think you've done your best work?
They wanted Ronald Reagan to play the role, but he couldn't get up that early. And they asked Tony Curtis, and he was off painting somewhere. I don't know of anyone else that they had in mind. I mean, they sent in a few people with me just to make me nervous, you know. But I took care of them in the outer office. I don't really think I've done my best work yet, you know. But I thought that the best work I've ever done as an actor was done on the series. And that's strictly because working out that many hours in the course of 3 years in front of a camera is like when you work out in a gym. You know, your muscles just get stronger, and you learn from watching yourself on the screen what works and what doesn't. And then the writing, you know, Vincent got an opportunity to just play so many incredible emotions and feelings and situations that he was bound to look good on occasion, you know. The writing was superb. It was just a dream for an actor, especially a classical actor.
Mr. Perlman, I was curious about the voice that you use for Vincent. How did you get into that voice? Because you don't just walk on a set and start doing it one day. Did you practice? Did you?
You know, I've told this story before, but you know, there are times when you have to go and audition for a part where you work, you know, 6 hours a day for like 5 days. You know, you go over it and you're trying to figure it out and you're trying to think about how the character would be. And when I went to the network to audition for the part, I had read the script through once because my response to the character was so immediate and so instinctive and so visceral that I wanted to leave it on that level rather than prepare for it. And I knew that I was going to audition for something very big, and there was a part of me saying, you should do more homework, you should do more rehearsing, you should do more work on this. But I had a sense that if I worked on it too much, that it would sort of turn into something else, and I didn't want to. I just knew that this was a guy who went from human to otherworldly, you know, with great ease, and that he needed to have something in his voice that was otherworldly, you know, a bit of gravel perhaps, you know, so that when he went into a growl, his growl sort of mode, that it wasn't such an unbelievable jump. And I knew that it needed to be very gentle because he was such an imposing figure, and yet his greatest wish in life was to gain the trust of people around him. So a combination of those two elements was what led me to the voice. It you know.
I think there were so many, excuse me interrupting, Ron, I think there were so many very bold choices that you made in that part, which were wonderful, and you were taking a tremendous chance, and they all paid off. I mean, I thought the voice was absolutely magnificent. It was a wonderfully thrilling, exciting, poetic. And you can give me the check later if you would. It required tremendous courage because you were so quiet. I mean, I used to do scenes with you, and I couldn't hear a word you were saying. In fact, I had an arrangement, I don't know if you ever knew this, with the continuity girl, that whenever you came to the end of your speech, she would wave to me and I would start speaking.
Well, that explains it. I very often say to myself, what the hell is Roy looking at over my left shoulder? Linda had done about, this is a story that I don't know if I've ever told before. She had done about 7 or 8 days work before I was ever really used on the pilot episode. And then I came in the very